sitting on the wall, looking at the Iranian army. Who is this great hero? Whose camp is this that has the flag with the lion on it? And that's a long passage, and that's meant to give more drama to look at all these different guys with their epithets, their heroic names, and they're all here, leading up to. And then, of course, Rostam is in the Iranian army. And when Hajir is asked about, well, whose tents are these over here? He says to himself, well, maybe it's not such a good idea to say it's Rostam. He said, it's some guy that comes all the way from China. Yeah, but what's his name? I don't know, because I was here in the fortress. He only arrived recently with the Iranian forces. So then even Sohrab says he was sorry that he didn't seem to find Rostam amongst the Iranians. After all, he's the greatest of all the Iranian fighters. But also this is setting up how they're not going to know one another before the actual fighting begins. We didn't finish the last sentence.
Okay. وزان سو سراپرده شهریار کشیدند بر دشت پیش حصار.
We're on Vazansu is the Saral Pardeye Shahriyar, the actual top king of all the Iranian forces. Kashidan Bardasht Pisha Hisar. And so it's the Saral Pardeye that they kashide, they laid it out on the plain in front of the Hisar, the fortress where they are. Okay, and the last sentence.
زبس خیمه و مرد و پرده سرای نماند هیچ بر دشت و بر کوه جای.
And because of the great quantity of tents, men, and these pavilions, there was no place left, either on the dasht or on the mountain, where the land starts to go up. Joy. Each.
رودکی هم زیاد به کارش برده each.
Let me make some more tea now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, unfortunately I must go because I'm supposed to be there at 4 and it's already, before I get there with this bike of mine.
Where are you going?
It's
Here in
20
I need
Amsterdam?
to pick up my car.
It's 20 to 4 now.
I know, just 5 minutes I'll be fine.
Okay.
Because I said I would be there at 4 but at 4:15, so although it's far away, I think I'll make it.
Well, I don't think that this is so difficult for you. It's just you, there's these occasional archaic words like idun.
Well, you know what makes it easy is that both of you guys are here.
Well, you can see it saves you the trouble of if you have to look up these words. It takes longer and all that.
No, but of course, once again I realize I should be doing this far more often.
Yeah,
But
I think
at
so
least
too.
I'm happy.
I
with
think
it.
so too.
Yeah,
Paul,
yeah, yeah.
Really.
No, because
I think you're going to enjoy it more if you understand what I'm talking about.
These sentence structures are never very complicated. They often are only a half line long, and then the second half is another sort of sentence. In difficult poetry, you can have 5, 6 lines. It's all one sentence.
And the other important thing is that most of the words are Persian. That's also good for you.
And Ferdowsi, in some ways, is a good place to begin for Persian poetry because all the poets who followed Ghazali, Attar, they all know his poetry.
Even Hafez used a lot of these old names from Jamshid, Tawus, even Hafez used that a lot.
At some point you said, Shah mentioned, well, maybe Paul would like to read some Hafez. We can read some Hafez.
I was just
Sentences are a little longer, but we can see the difference
It's
between
a
the
little
two kinds of
difficult, but
poetry.
we can do that. And you, as you said, Michel also is good at it.
Yeah. But that's otherwise we'll just say that someday
Yeah, why not?
Inshallah then, and
Yeah, I would love to.
give it a go.
What's more difficult about Hafez is the meter. For our purposes, it's not important at our stage to be so concerned with the difficulties of meter. This is the easiest of all meters, though, Shahnameh, whereas Hafez uses, I don't know, 15 different meters. So you don't know what this you know how to figure out because you know what it has to be. But when you go from one poem to another with Hafez, it can be a different meter. And then if you're trying to pronounce it in a meter, it's a lot more difficult. I mean, to begin with, you don't need to pay so much attention to meter, but read and see what kind of characteristics the poetry has. And this, of course, is